Hello, welcome on this new section, new lecture, and now we'll see how to do monitoring with the director. The director is a tool that enables us to monitor and troubleshoot XenApp and XenDesktop. Like you can see here, let's go with this. I have my director app, it's a browser, and I have a director web services. He's doing authentication, and he'll be connect directly to the XenDesktop controller, so he's able to monitor everything. Okay, so he's able to monitor the monitor DB, conf logging, site database, the hypervisor, and all the RDS. Okay, VDI or XenDesktop. So this is a very nice tool, and you can even integrate it with the MAS. MAS is a solution to manage NetScaler. So the director, what is it? So it's doing real-time data from the broker agent using a unified console integrated with performance analysis and network inspector. You can have access to all your historical data stored in the monitor database to access the configuration login database. And ICA data from the NetScaler gateway, you can integrate it with the MAS or Insight Center. So Director is using a troubleshooting dashboard that provides real-time and historical health monitoring from XenApp and XenDesktop. And this is very nice because this feature allows you to see failure in real time, providing a better idea of what the end user are experiencing. So to connect to the director, I connect it where it's installed. Okay, so actually it's installed on my broker 1 and broker 2. So let's connect to the director. So to connect to the director, what I'm doing is that I'm going to go here. I'm going to go on Citrix, and here is the director. So it's a web console. Actually, I'm not using HTTPS. Okay, it's not mandatory, but you can add a certificate if you want. So let's just connect and go on the password and connect the domain. That's it. So now I'm connected to the director, and to have some way to test some connection, I will go on my client here and log on and run some application. So I will go here and I will run some of my resources. So for example, let's run desktop Azure, a VDI here. So let's open the two of them. Let's go on my application here, and let's open my calculator and my Chrome. Okay. So for that, I will have a 4 session was open. So let's go back on our broker 1, and with this tool, let's put it in full screen mode. I have my director. So with that, I can have information about, for example, the total user connection failure, client connection failure. I can have my error, my machine feature, and I can have information. So let's do that with my session. So I can see that I have some session where I connected actually, and if I go all down, I see I have one session. So if I go here and I click on one session, you can see the session that is actually connected. So I have a user was connected. I can see customer here, and I can see the machine name here. See, VDI1, and I have my IP address and the idle time and the IP address where I'm connected. So here you can filter by session state, for example, or you can filter by a lot of column here, and you can is or is not and active or not. So now something is very nice is that if I need some information about a customer, I can go on my customer here, and I can see what actually he's using. So we can see that he's connected to the HR, it's a desktop here, and a desktop, a VDI desktop, and he has this application which actually run on his desktop, on the XenApp server, exactly. So I can go, for example, on WordPad here, and I can see here that I can, see all the application name, and I can see all the process here. And I can do a log off, a shadow, or even a result profile. Okay, when you do a result profile, he will create a temporary profile and create a new one. So that's often what you're doing when a user has some issue. So if I go back here on my customer, I see he's connected, and I see the DG delivery group here, and I can have some other information. Okay, so if I go back here on my dashboard and go back here on my session, because I have my free session connected here. So if I go, for example, on this one, a customer one, I can, go now, for example, on a desktop, and I can have, a lot of information here. So see, I can have all the details. So on the details, I can have all the information on a connection. So I can see, for example, that here is my application, here is my machine details. So I have all information about my details, about my machine actually. And here I have my session details here. So I have a lot of information here about my session. If I go down, I can see now the time he take to open a session. So I can see that this is all in seconds before I'm connected to the session. Okay, this is very nice. And I can hear all the details about my channel. So I have here all my channel here. So I can see and go on each of this channel, for example, go in graphic and have information about, the graphic protocol used. So that's very, very nice because I can really go and see a lot of information about all my customer. I can go and filter and I can see, give me all the machine here. So for that, I will have my desktop OS machine and my server OS machine. And this one, I can go on the server here, for example, this XenApp server, and again, I have a lot of information here. I have, for example, average IOPS, disk latency, and here I have the name of my machine, the display name, a lot of information here about my XenApp server. I can have some information about here my hypervisor, about the status, so that all is okay, and here you can see IOPS and CPU memory. So I can see in real time what is the load of my server. This is really fantastic. I have information about my session here in the same time, so I can see all my session, remember? So I can go here and, for example, send a message or do a session control, do log off or disconnect here. I can do a lot of things here. So I can go also on my connection, see all my connection and my application instance. So if I go on all application instance, I will see here the application has been run by this user here. So same thing, I can do session control, all this, or I can send a message. So this is really very, very nice. You can even manage your alert and you can have here your alert, and you can see the Citrix alert policies and the email configurations. You can create one here, or you can create an alert if you want, and have a policy here saying, okay, I'm interested by my CPU here, my connection failure here, my failure, my average login duration. So I can really here create all my all the information about this alert, and here I can have the scope and the email address. So this is really very, very nice. And here you have the trains, and same information. You can have the failure, you can have the login performance, so you can see the average time when you run a session, and it's divided here on all the steps. You can have the load evaluator index, you can have the capacity management, the machine usage, the resource utilization, and the application failure. Whoa. This is really very, very nice. They did a very big work. So this is the director. Of course, if you don't want to use a director, you can go in your studio. Okay, on a studio you have some information, not as a director, but you have some information. So if I go here on my broker, go on my broker here and go on my Citrix studio, I can also have some information, but really use the director because it's really more powerful than the studio. Okay, in the studio you can have some information. So if I connect here on my I connect here now on my broker, I can see that also I have information in search. Okay, so in search here I can have information about my session, for example, here. I have my desktop machine and my session here. So I have my serverless machine and my session. When I see my session, I have also information about my session. You know, is it a multi or single here? So so you can also, you know, do log off, send message, view machine if you want, and you can even select other columns if you need other columns here in my studio. See a lot of column here. So yes, and you can even do a search. Okay, I want the name contain something. I want the delivery group. I need, okay, for example, let's say that I will need a type of delivery group here, so contents here, and I can add the delivery group. Okay, here the name, and I can say, okay, I want it start with, end with, etc., etc. Okay, so this is really very powerful, but really use the director. Okay, so this is the end of this lecture. It was a very small lecture, but very nice on the director. So I hope that you enjoyed this lecture, and hope you and welcome you on the other next lecture, and hope that you will pass a very nice day. Bye bye.